The players are getting ready to come out here, ladies and gentlemen, on Cal Sports Football. The last moments, the last opportunities, ladies and gentlemen, for the players to have their final moments to themselves. Because now they are going to share those moments with the rest of the world. Because millions, or if not billions, will be watching this Champions League final, ladies and gentlemen. Who comes out on top? Will it be Manchester City or Inter Milan? What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. Let me know where you're from. Let me know who you support. Let me know which country you're repping, which team you're supporting. Let's have a good time, ladies and gentlemen. Players are coming out now. One team going for that illustrious treble. The other going to experience former glories. The Champions League trophy appearing. Is that the PSG guy? Is that the PSG guy? Is it the PSG guy? Who is that that's walking out with the trophy? Oh no, it might be something to do with Turkey. Everyone expects City to win this, yeah, 100%, 100%. Scuba culture. There's two things that for me would be the reasons why City would not win today. One of them is if Pep Guardiola went into his own head and played a stupid player out position like he did in the famous previous Champions League final. But he's definitely settled on his starting 11. Besides Ake, you can swap Ake and Walker, flip him with Akanji. But he's gone for Ake and Akanji and Ruben Diaz for that physicality. Inter Milan will just have to resort to that dark arts, the Italian way of football. Try and emulate what they did. Ladies and gentlemen, they're playing the Champions League theme tune on a piano. On a piano, ladies and gentlemen. Early Braun Haaland embraces the stadium. This is the final game of the season. There's a reason. This is the final game of the season, ladies and gentlemen. This is the creme de la creme. The prestige. This is the mountaintop the world watches over. This is what everyone has been waiting for. One team will create history today. Will it be the blue side of Manchester or the blue side of Milan? Former glories of Champions League history is in the Italian books, ladies and gentlemen. Only the red side of Manchester have experienced success in the Champions League. Will it be different for the blue side? Pep Guardiola has his team. So does Simeone Inzaghi. Italians against Mancunians. European players coming together for the glorious night here on Cal Sports Football. Are we ready, ladies and gentlemen? The players embrace each other. Only one can be crowned European champions, as let's give you the Manchester City starting lineup. It's Ederson in goal. Ake, Akanji and Diaz are your back three. Rodri and Stones play the midfield two. Grealish, Gundogan, De Bruyne and Bernardo and Haaland. And it's pretty much the starting 11 I would have picked, I'll be honest with you. I feel like Ake, Diaz and Akanji are the better three defenders than Walker in that side. But I can see what Walker can provide. You think of the likes of Riyad Mahrez, who can come off the bench, Julian Alvarez, who can come off the bench. You got some quality players that can come off the bench for Manchester City, but they've got their best players on the pitch for me. Gundogan, De Bruyne, Grealish, Bernardo Silva and Haaland, Rodri, Stones. They are absolute forces of nature. They are absolute forces of nature, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give you the Inter Milan team news. It's Onana in goal, Bastoni, Acerbi, and Tomian, Dumfries, Barella, Brozovic, Chanaloglu, and DiMarco, and Edin Dzeko, Lautaro Martinez, World Cup winner. Lautaro Martinez is in the squad. Lukaku on the bench, Skriniar on the bench, De Ambrosio on the bench, Mkhitaryan, Correa. There's a few players on the bench there for Inter Milan, but the starting 11 is as simple as that. Let's transition over to the game day. Who do you think is going to be the standout player that we need to keep an eye on? Who's the player that's going to make the difference for these two sides? For Manchester City, I'll be honest with you, I think it's a toss-up between Stones and Bernardo Silva, you know. A lot of teams, they man-mark Gundogan and Kevin De Bruyne, which means Stones is free in the middle of the park. Bernardo Silva just runs everywhere, and he's already done it in the Champions League. For Inter Milan, it's the midfield three that Chanaloglu, Barella, and Brozovic are the ones to look out for. But ladies and gentlemen, Inter Milan shooting from left to right. Manchester City from right to left. The game kicks off. And Milan go all the way to the back. Ladies and gentlemen, how are we doing? Are we ready for some football? Let me know in the chat where you're from and who do you support. Are you Inter Milan fans? Are you Manchester City fans? Or are you just fans of football with the ball put out to that left-hand side towards DiMarco, and it's over here. It goes out for a goal kick on the right side for... sorry, a throwing on the right side for Manchester City. Where John Stones steps over to take it. Here we go with Inter Milan on the ball with Dumfries. Goes out to the right side towards Edin Dzeko, but it's a heavy touch and it goes out for a goal kick on the right side for Manchester City. That's the last thing Edin Dzeko would have wanted. Sorry, that's the last thing he would have wanted to do with his first touch. Just a heavy touch and a slip. Goes out for a goal kick, and he looks to the ground. Edin Dzeko, there's a piece of grass a chunk of grass that fell out there. But here we go with Manchester City to restart the game on the right side with Edison. Out to that right side towards Akanji. Akanji holds the ball up here. Inter Milan applying pressure. High the pitch. He switches it over the top towards Ake. Barella keeps a watch on Kevin De Bruyne. Ake holds onto the ball on the edge of his own box. And he goes backwards to Diaz. Diaz holds onto the ball on the edge of his own box and goes backwards to Edison. And Edison holds on the ball onto the penalty spot. And it's been a minute into the game, ladies and gentlemen, and both teams I've caught. There's been instances in the first 2 minutes of the game where both teams have just stood there whilst the opposition have had the ball, not wanting to, force pressure on either team because they don't want to open up space at the back. That's very interesting to spot earlier on in the game. Inter Milan have had the ball, holding onto the ball on the edge of the box, and Manchester City have just held off them. Manchester City had the ball on the halfway and Inter Milan just held off them. Very interesting start to the game, but Inter Milan have the ball with Dumfries over the top where Rodri is there to win the ball in the Milan half. Finds Gundogan first time into Kevin De Bruyne. In behind the line towards Haaland. Haaland first time shot is over the bar. But offside flag does go up. And it goes out for a goal. It's a free kick, on this left-hand side for Inter Milan. How are we doing? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, football pundits around the world. It's your boy Adam here live on Car Sports Football. Manchester City 0, Inter Milan 0. With 3 minutes played. Where are you from? Are you Inter Milan fans? Are you Man City fans? Are you just fans of football? Acerbi, Bastoni, and Darmian have a lot of work to do. Because not only do they have to keep an eye on Haaland, but they have to make sure they don't give the likes of Gundogan, Grealish, Bernardo Silva, and Kevin De Bruyne space to take a shot. Here we go with Milan trying to play out from the back. Man City applying the pressure. Onana floats it out wide towards Dumfries. Dumfries brings the ball under control, being challenged by Ake. Long ball over the top. Barella can't get there. And it's cleared away by Ruben Diaz. Darmian will hit it out of play and it goes out for a throwing down the left-hand side. How are we doing? Ladies and gentlemen in the chat, are you Manchester City fans? Are you Inter Milan fans? Or are you just fans of football? Let me know. Let's talk some football. Who do you think wins today? Inter Milan, Manchester City. Manchester City are 99. But if you give percentages, ladies and gentlemen, it's 99% Man City, 1% Inter Milan. Without a doubt. That 1% for Inter Milan is split up into two. They have to be physical and use the Italian dark arts to their advantage. Stop and start. Don't let City get into a rhythm. Because once City get into a rhythm, they'll bulldoze any team. You saw what they did against Real Madrid as Di Marco brings down Bernardo Silva on that right side in the City half, and it goes out for a free kick here. 4 minutes played. Bernardo Silva and Jack Grealish will have to try and push DeMarco and Dumfries further back. They don't want to push them high up the field and allow them to press them backwards. Here we go with Rodri. Goes out to the side side towards Nathan Ake. First time into Kevin De Bruyne, who takes another turn into Martha Rodri, but Brozovic is all over him, who got the nod ahead of Mkhitaryan. Manages to find the pass into Grealish. Backwards to Gundogan, who's driving to the edge of the box. Into Stones. Stones cuts back on the left foot, but he's surrounded by Milan players, forced to go backwards to Rodri. Switches it out to the right side towards Bernardo Silva. One-on-one against DiMarco. He goes on the outside. He gets himself to the box. A couple of feints. Left foot shot, and everyone watches him. Everyone watches the ball as it just goes wide and it goes out for a goal kick. How is this Italian team allowing Bernardo Silva to just run into the box without putting a foot out there or anything? You need to stop that from happening, DeMarco. Stop it from just running into the box. That's horrendous. Horrendous. Inter Milan restart on this left-hand side with DiMarco. Feeds the ball down the line to the path of Chanaloglu, but it's intercepted by Akanji, and it goes all the way back to the keeper on this right side. Akanji. Stones to Rodri. First time into the path of Haaland. Intercepted there by a Cherby. Sorry, Bastoni should I say, but the referee puts it back for a Man City free kick on this right side. But he might have hurt himself there. Bastoni will have to, Cherby will have to wait and see as City carry on with Kevin De Bruyne. Grealish against Dumfries. That's going to be a good challenge. Good game to watch as Kevin De Bruyne feeds the first time into Jack Grealish, but Brozovic is there to intercept, and Inter Milan restart on this left-hand side once with Damian. Brozovic goes all the way back to Onana here on the 6-yard box, and he'll just dummy Kevin De Bruyne and just clear it down the line, high up into the air. Dumfries tries to bring the ball under control, but it's intercepted there by Ake. Plays for a free kick, but nothing given, and Man City restart with Rodri. Makes his way back to Ake, and he squares it into Rafa Diaz. And Diaz brings the ball onto the centre circle here. Goes out to the right side towards Akanji. Akanji short to Stones, who has that free roll in the middle of the park, and a lot of teams don't pick him up. So it'll be good to see how Inter Milan deal with Stones. It will be interesting to see how Inter Milan deal with John Stones in the middle of the park. Teams focus on Gundogan. Gives space to UCL final, MCI Inter. Very interesting to see what happens. Here we go to a Cherby with the header, and it goes out for a throwing on this right hand side. Edison on the ball here in the 6-yard box. Into the path of Ake, and Ake brings it forward for Manchester City. Into the path of Kevin De Bruyne. De Bruyne holds onto the ball and goes backwards to Ruben Diaz. Diaz holds onto it now, brings it forward. Out to Akanji. Akanji short to Bernardo Silva on the touchline down that right side. Brings it to the halfway line, but it's intercepted now by DiMarco, but he couldn't find the pass into Xhaka, and it's a free kick there. Bernardo Silva just left a late foot out there, and Inter Milan win the ball and win a free kick in the City half, and that's what they need to do. They need to try and nick it and pounce when the City players are out of position. Nine minutes into the game, Man City nil, Inter Milan nil. Darmian with the ball. Former Manchester United players in this team, Darmian, Mkhitaryan, Lukaku. We'll see if any of them have an impact on the game. Darmian goes backwards to Cherby into the Bastoni. Bastoni holds on to it, switches it over the top towards Barella, who brings the ball under control. Rodri comes up to cover. Barella gets away from him, and he brings the ball into the middle of the park and finds Lautaro Martinez on the centre circle. He's got 4 players to aim for, and he drives the ball out to the left side towards DiMarco. DiMarco left foot into the box. Back post is headed away by Stones, but can DiMarco get there ahead of Gundogan? And he can't. Gundogan comes away with it. Intercepted there by Inter Milan, and that was good play by Inter Milan there. Moving the ball, maybe Lautaro Martinez just held on to it just a little bit too long and maybe should have threaded it out to the right hand side as opposed to the left hand side, but Man City managed to recover, and it's Ake on the halfway line. Into Grealish, and he goes all the way back to Ruben Diaz on the right hand side. Diaz holds on to the ball. Backwards to Ederson. Look how high Stones is for Manchester City. He's practically in the attacking third. Again, players focus on Kevin De Bruyne and Gundogan, and they don't focus on Stones. But Ederson just misplaces the pass, and it goes out for an Inter Milan throwing deep in the Manchester City half. 10 minutes played. Manchester City nil, Inter Milan nil. Dumfries steps over to take the throwing. Rumored with a link to Manchester United. Very interesting after Diego Dalot signs a contract extension, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka improved towards the second half of the season. Long ball over the top, but Darmian just hits it high up into the air, and Martinez kept it in play, but Stones is there, and he wins the ball off him. Martinez, can he get there? And he can't. It goes out for a goal kick on the right hand side as Stones just has a word with Martinez there on that right hand side. Here we go, the ball over the top towards Bernardo Silva, being held up by DiMarco, forces him backwards, and he wins the free kick, Bernardo Silva. And he goes backwards. Chanaloglu, Barella, and Brozovic have a huge game today. Here we go, Ake bringing the ball forward. 1-2 with Rodri. Into the path of Kevin De Bruyne. De Bruyne holds onto the ball on the halfway line. Over the top towards Haaland. Headed away by Cherby. Kevin De Bruyne picks up the loose ball here. Tries to keep it alive, but it's cleared away. And Ake picks it up. Into Stones on the centre circle. Finds Rodri. The referee pulls it back because there's no advantage there. It's a corner here for Inter Milan on the 13th minute of the game. Inter Milan have definitely come to play some football, ladies and gentlemen. That's without a doubt. Corner here for for Inter Milan on the 14th minute of the game. Manchester City nil, Inter Milan nil. Inter Milan may be the underdogs in this game, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, I'm giving them a 1% chance to win this game, but they've come to play some football as DeMarco takes the corner short into Barella, ball points the box, but it's headed away. And Damian will go all the way back to the keeper, Onana, and Onana holds the ball up here. Barella. Damian. He goes all the way back to Brozovic on this left-hand side. Ake, into battle Rodri. Rodri holds the ball up and he's intercepted. Lautaro Martinez picks it up on the half. On the edge of the box, he's brought down by Diaz, nothing given, and he finds Kevin De Bruyne. Into battle Bernardo Silva down the right side. One-on-one against Bastoni. It's going to be a great challenge, but he skips away from DeMarco, and he finds Rodri on the centre circle. Out to the left side, beautifully over the top towards Jack Grealish. Brozovic is tracking back, and it looks like Brozovic is in charge of trying to pick up the switch of play, whether it's right or left. But we'll have to wait and see how that works out. Dumfries to take the throwing down this left-hand side. 15 minutes played. Manchester City nil, Inter Milan nil. Over the top towards Xhaka, headed away by Rodri for a throwing for Inter Milan on the halfway line. 15 minutes played. How are we doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome to you all. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Kyle Walker not on the team sheet today. 15 minutes played. I wouldn't be surprised if Kyle Walker's a player that's let go in the summer, you know. It's a thought, you know, he's not playing in the final. Headed away from the throwing into the pass of Brozovic. He finds Barella black heel to Martinez. Can he keep it in play? No, he can't. Goes out for a throwing on the try and side for Inter Milan for Manchester City in their own half. 16 minutes played. Ake to take the throwing here on this right side. Ake with a long throwing into Kevin De Bruyne, but it's headed away by Damian. Lautaro Martinez brings the ball under control, but he's brought down by Ake. Game carries on, and it falls to Brozovic. And it goes out for a throwing on the shine side for Manchester City. Is Brozovic the captain? Is Brozovic the captain? I don't think Brozovic is the captain. Oh no, they've got a respect armband. Are they all wearing respect armband? No, I think Brozovic is the captain. I think Brozovic is the captain. Well, I didn't even notice that. Completely missed that. Manchester City nil, Inter Milan nil. How are we doing, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Football pundits around the world. It's your boy Adam here live on Couch Sports Football. Are we Man City fans or are we Inter Milan fans? Here we go with Gundogan, who wins the ball, but it's cleared away by Chanaloglu. The referee pulls it back for a Man City free kick, actually, on the halfway line. Interesting. Chanaloglu there bringing down Ilkay Gundogan. How are we doing? What do we think of the game, and who do we think are the players to keep an eye on? Barella, Brozovic, Chanaloglu have a lot to do today, ladies and gentlemen. Man City to restart, and it makes its way all the way out to Akanji on the right side of the pitch. First time into Stones, who has to pick up the pieces when Kevin De Bruyne and Gundogan are being marked. He's the one that has a free roll 90% of the time in this new formation, as opposed pointing down the line towards Haaland, and he heads into brother Grealish, who's charging it down. Acerbi's coming over to cover Grealish against him in the corner, keeps it in play, and Acerbi gathers the ball now here on this left-hand side, being held by Grealish, and it goes out for a Manchester City throwing down this left-hand side. How are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? 18 minutes play. Kevin De Bruyne to take the throwing. 1-2 with Gundogan. Goes round the outside of Damian. And it goes out for a corner on this left-hand side for Manchester City. 18 and a half minutes played. How are we doing? Welcome to the stream. Where are you from and who do you support? Are you Man City fans? Are you Inter Milan fans? Or you just fans of football as Kevin De Bruyne takes the throw into the path of Jack Grealish, being held by Dumfries there, and it's managed to clear it away by Barella. But Man City win it back with Rodri high the pitch. Ake heads into the path of Chanaloglu. But Gundogan's there doing his defensive work, but Ladaro picks it up in the Man City half, manages to find Xhaka, but Bernardo Silva's tracking back doing his defensive work and goes all the way back to Edison on the right hand side. Just need to be a bit sharper with their passes into Milan when they have the ball in the Man City half. They've won it off them a few times, but they've not capitalized from it. Rodri on the centre circle. Out wide towards Bernardo Silva as DeMarco steps up and wins it back again. One-on-one gun against Akanji. He's got Dzeko and Chanaloglu alongside him. He goes into the pass of Brozovic. Martinez and Dzeko ahead of him. Into Martinez. Martinez into Brozovic. And his shots over the bar. Pep Guardiola won't be happy with the way Inter Milan are stepping up and winning the ball back. As Brozovic is of all players takes the shot, goes over for a goal kick, but need to do better than Man City when they win the Inter Milan when they win the ball back. Here we go with Ake now on the ball here. Kevin De Bruyne goes backwards to Ruben Diaz, bringing the ball forward here for Man City. Out wide to Akanji. Stones through the middle. Gundogan is there. So is Bernardo Silva, but he returns it back to Ruben Diaz. And Diaz now has it on the centre circle. 1-2 with Rodri. How are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the stream. Where are we from and who do we support? Are we City fans? Are we Milan fans? Which blue side of the city do you support? Is it the blue side of Manchester or the blue side of Milan? Kevin De Bruyne goes all the way back to Ake on the right side. Returns it back to Kevin De Bruyne, who's one-on-one against Darmian. Tries to feed it down the line to Grealish, but Onana quickly off his line and picks it up for Milan, and it's on the 20th minute. 0-0 so far, ladies and gentlemen. Onana into Bastoni. Backwards to Acerbi. Acerbi over the top towards Edin Dzeko. Dumfries manages to keep the ball under control. Dzeko gets away from Gundogan. Into the middle there finds Brozovic. First time into Martinez. Martinez has Dumfries ahead of him, but good interception there by Akanji. And Ake finds Rodri. Rodri loses the ball there to Barella, but Man City win it back. Oh, Kevin De Bruyne nearly loses it. Man City need to be careful. Inter Milan are disrupting them. This is what they should be doing. Inter Milan, this is what we said. Inter Milan need to not let City get into a rhythm. And this is exactly what they're doing. Rodri into Ake on the halfway line. Out to the left-hand side is Jack Grealish. One-on-one against Darmian. Barella comes over to cover backwards to Ake. Into the pass of Diaz on the halfway line. Diaz to Akanji. Out wide to Bernardo Silva. One-on-one against DeMarco. DeMarco has won a few balls off him this time, but he manages to find a pass to Gundogan. And good intricate play, but Brozovic is there. DeMarco's brought down. Game carries on here. Out to the right side is Kevin De Bruyne. Stones, right foot into the box towards Haaland. It goes over everyone. It falls to Jack Grealish. One-on-one into the pass to Kevin De Bruyne. Ake is there on the edge of the box. He can't get away from Brozovic. Craves for a handball. Nothing given as Barella now on the ball. And it goes out for a throwing. And DeMarco will get a check here. Just checking on all the players. Referee's clever there. Checks on all the players. Who's running towards me? Who's running towards me? Ball over the top. Headed out to that left-hand side is DeMarco. One-on-one against Bernardo Silva. Into Chanaloglu. 1-2 with Bastoni. And he goes back to Acerbi. Acerbi into Darmian on this left-hand side. Darmian bringing the ball forward. Barella to Dumfries. Backwards to Darmian. Barella asking to hit for the ball to be returned back to him. He wants to dictate the play. Onana. Right foot over the top towards DeMarco. But it's over everyone and makes its way back to Edison on the right side. Ake on the right side to restart for Manchester City. They just need to regroup. They need to settle down and get their passing playing and play the way they play. Don't let Milan rattle them, because that's the last thing that Pep Guardiola will want to do. Ake out to Grealish. Grealish holds onto the ball here, returns it back to Nathan Ake, and he goes all the way back to the keeper on the right side. Edison over the top towards Stones. Stones one-on-one against Bastoni. He gets away from him and he manages to find a pass into Gundogan, who can't reach it, but he makes his way to Grealish. Barella's tracking back and he wins. I was going to say he wins the ball, but he actually just shoves him down to the ground. Free kick City. Kevin De Bruyne with a 1-2. And it's Gundogan. Ake on the right side into the path of Diaz on the centre circle. Bringing the ball forward, plays it into Stones, out wide to Bernardo Silva. Stones carries on with his run, but Silva holds onto the ball and goes backwards to Akanji. Diaz to Ake on the centre circle. Brings it into the Milan half, into Gundogan, over the top towards Haaland. Brings it down under control into Kevin De Bruyne. Drives into the box, but he slips. And he allows Brozovic just to take the ball off him and come away with it as Gundogan heads it on. Dzeko wins it. Barella can't bring the ball under control, but Barella wins it off the nick and he tries to bring it forward, but Diaz is there. Ake will stop it from going out of play. And a goal all the way back to Edison on the right side. But it's intercepted, but Barella could have found the shot off. Pep Guardiola telling his players to relax. Barella had a moment there. Diaz out to Akanji on the right side. Feeds it down the line to Kevin De Bruyne. Intercepted beautifully by Brozovic. And De Bruyne will restart from the throwing backwards to Bernardo Silva. 1-on-1 against Chanaloglu. Brings it central into the path of Rodri. Rodri turns and he's got time to put his head up, and he goes into Ake. But again, it's another misplaced pass and it forces the City players to just get into gear to win the ball back. That's the last thing they'll want to do. Diaz into Ake need to be more precise with their passes. Better decision making. Stones to Akanji on the right side. Bringing the ball forward. Short to Rodri on the centre circle. Into the path of Gundogan. First time into Kevin De Bruyne. He lets set off Haaland. 1-on-1 against Acerbi. And it's a save there. Great save by Onana. Falls out to Grealish. Down the left-hand side. 1-on-1 against the defender. Into the path of Rodri. Right foot cuts in on his effort. Back to Grealish. 1-on-1 against the defender. He goes on the outside. Ball point to the box is headed away by Dumfries. And then come out to Akanji on the right side. Into Silva. 1-on-1 against DeMarco. Gets himself into the box. Again, he lets him get into the box. Back heel to Kevin De Bruyne, and his ball into the box is overhit. And it goes out for a goal kick on this left-hand side. A bit easy for Onana there. Bit easy for Onana there. Here we go with DeMarco now, the ball on the left-hand side, bringing the ball forward into the Manchester City half, but it's intercepted there by Bernardo Silva. He gets away from Chanaloglu, but Milan win it back, and it's Barella on the ball. Can he get away from Diaz? No, he can't. And Diaz has acres of space to drive into, and he gets himself into the Milan half. He's got De Bruyne to his left, and he finds him. Jack Grealish to his left. Diaz carries on with the run into the box, takes a shot, but it's straight into the hands of the keeper. And it goes into the path of Onana. Onana to restart on this left-hand side. Into Darmian. Over the top towards Barella, but it's intercepted there by Gundogan. And he brings the ball forward. And to Grealish on the left-hand side. Across the 6-yard box, but it's straight out Onana again. Better decision-making. Now it's time for Milan to bring the ball forward with Barella. De Bruyne tracking back. Barella holds onto the ball here. Into Edin Dzeko, being held up by Ake. Holds onto the ball. He's brought down there. Free kick for Milan on the right side. And Kevin De Bruyne has gone down off the ball here. Kevin De Bruyne has gone down off the ball here. He went down off the ball there, Kevin De Bruyne. No one around him. Is that someone to keep? Is that something to keep an eye on? Oh, is Kevin De Bruyne coming off here for Manchester City? Wow, this is huge. Phil Foden. Kevin De Bruyne is back up on his feet. Pep Guardiola has a moment to talk with his players now. Kevin De Bruyne having a word with Pep Guardiola there. Brozovic on the ball in the Milan half. 1-2 with Barella. Bringing the ball central. Into Bastoni. Bastoni now bringing it forward for Inter Milan. Squares it into Damian. Milan aren't forcing the nature. They're moving it around in the back three, waiting for City to move forward and give themselves some space. Brozovic all the way back to the keeper. Damian on the ball. Goes all the way back to the keeper on this left-hand side. Onana. Onana back to Damian. Damian feeds the ball over the top towards Brozovic. His pass is intercepted by Rodri. And it falls to Kevin De Bruyne. To Grealish on this left-hand side. And he goes out for a goal kick. And I think Kevin De Bruyne, looking up to the heavens. Looking up for divine intervention. That is not a good sign. Damian hits the ball over the top towards Edin Dzeko. Flicked on towards Çalhanoğlu. But Diaz is there and it's intercepted there by Brozovic. But Haaland wins the ball back and it falls to Rodri. Rodri on the centre circle. Bringing it forward into the pass to Kevin De Bruyne, but it's intercepted. And DeMarco will come away with it here. Feeds it into Brozovic. 1-on-1 against Akanji. He holds the ball up on the halfway line. Tries to feed it down the line and it goes out for a throwing. And looks like Phil Foden is going to be coming on here. Kevin De Bruyne might be getting subbed off again in a final, ladies and gentlemen. Kevin De Bruyne might be getting subbed off in the final. He's not moving at all. He's still on the pitch. They're giving him the chance to carry on. We'll have to wait and see how long that is. Here we go with Diaz. Into Ake on the right side. Short to Gundogan on the halfway line. All the way back to the keeper. Kevin De Bruyne running around on the centre circle. Has he got it in him to push through whatever he just felt? He did go down on his own. That's the crazy thing. He went down on his own, ladies and gentlemen. Stones into Rodri on the centre circle, bringing it forward. Kevin De Bruyne carries on running as it stands. Gundogan bringing the ball forward into the Milan half. Rodri into Ake. Ake holds the ball up here. Brings it forward, being forced backwards to Diaz on the centre circle. And he slips. Dzeko nearly took it off him, but Kanji's there. And he goes all the way back to the keeper. And Man City, this isn't the Man City team that we're used to. Slipping, misplaced passes, missed touches. Losing the ball. This is not what we expect from Man City. Ake into Gundogan. Coming deep now to try and dictate the game. This is what they need. They need the experience of the likes of Gundogan to come and dictate. Stones to Gundogan. Holds onto the ball here. Into the towards Rodri. First time into Stones. Stones now. Turns away from Damian. Brings the ball forward here. Switches it out to that right side towards Akanji. Akanji first time into Bernardo Silva. He's got Kevin De Bruyne to his left. But again, he's gingerly walking. Into the pass of Stones. Stones against Brozovic. Backwards to Bernardo Silva. One-on-one against DeMarco. Is DeMarco going to let him run into the box again? He goes short to Kevin De Bruyne. Out wide to Stones. Backwards to Akanji. Rodri to Gundogan. He spins away from Brozovic. Gets away from him. Drives onto the right side. Into Kevin De Bruyne. One time into the box, but it's overhit. I think he's done. I think he's done. Oh, he's done. Oh, he's done. Kevin De Bruyne is done. Is Kevin De Bruyne the unluckiest player to play football? Phil Foden comes on here for Manchester City. Kevin De Bruyne taken off after 36 minutes play, ladies and gentlemen. Is Kevin De Bruyne the unluckiest player to play football, ladies and gentlemen? Here we go with a Cherby on the ball on this left-hand side. Short to Darmian. Darmian goes all the way back to Onana on this left-hand side. Over the top, but it's Ake there. And Rodri nearly loses the ball, but Stones is there and he finds Akanji, who goes out wide to Ruben Diaz. Nearly loses the ball to DeMarco. City on, what is City doing? This is not the Manchester City of the Premier League. Where's this Manchester City come from? Dumfries loses the header to Grealish, but Dumfries is there to win it back. And he went diving for that one, Dumfries. DeMarco plays a 1-2 with Chanaloglu. Bring the ball forward down the left-hand side. Looks like he's the one that wants to push forward. He switches over to his counterpart. Dumfries on this right side. Right foot. Holds onto it. But maybe he held on it too long. Into Darmian. Darmian backwards to Brozovic. Brozovic all the way back to a Cherby. Maybe he should have given a ball into the box. Dumfries. Bastoni. Chanaloglu. Bastoni carries on with the run. Chanaloglu switches it over the top to the right side towards Barella. Barella brings the ball under control. He cuts in on his left foot. Tries to put the ball into the block. So Ake is there to intercept. Makes his way back to Darmian. Plays a 1-2 with Brozovic. Returns it back to it. On the centre circle. Now it's Chanaloglu. Darmian. Barella. Back to Brozovic on the centre circle. Bastoni. And it goes all the way back to Onana on the second side. Milan trying to move the ball about here. Brozovic to Bastoni on this left-hand side. Brozovic very deep into Barella. And Barella goes back to Onana on this left-hand side. Onana on the edge of his own box. Switches over the top towards Darmian. Darmian brings the ball under control. And again, back to Barella. Barella and Brozovic doing so much work to move the ball about and just keep possession. 38 minutes played. Man City 0, Inter Milan 0. As Bernardo Silva comes chasing for the ball, but Onana picks it up on the penalty spot. Over the top, but it's a wasted pass by Onana. It goes up for a Man City throwing as Stones picks up the ball. Man City lose the ball, but Rodri's there as always to win it back, and it falls to Diaz. Diaz threads the pass into Phil Foden, who gets away from Chanaloglu, and he manages to find a pass out wide to Bernardo Silva, returns it back to Foden. 1-on-1 against Bastoni. He'll have nightmares of this as Inter Milan win the ball back. Foden claiming for a free kick, but nothing given. And Chanaloglu nearly loses the ball, and Diaz is there and is cleared up into the end. Cherby wins the ball back, but it goes out for a throw-in. And Inter Milan with a free kick on the left-hand side. 40th minute played. Man City nil, Inter Milan nil. Here we go with Darmian now on the ball. Goes back to Onana. Onana holds onto it here. Into a Cherby. Bastoni very high. But Cherby holds onto it in his own box. And he sees Grealish make the run to the keeper, so he holds onto it. Tries to feed it down to Martinez, who wins the header. But Rodri is there. Xhaka jumps up against Rodri, but Man City win it back. Chanaloglu could keep it alive, and it falls to Akanji, and it's now Stones on the ball on the shine side, bring the ball forward for Manchester City. On the centre circle, gets away from Xhaka, gets away from Bozovic, gets away from Chanaloglu, finds Phil Foden, holds onto the ball, out to his English counterpart, Jack Grealish, 1-on-1 against Dumfries, he cuts in on his drive for, goes into the middle towards Foden, Foden holds the ball up back to Rodri, Rodri out wide to Gundogan, but he cuts it back to Ake on the left-hand side, into Ilkay Gundogan, 1-on-1 against the defender, he cuts it into the middle, back to Rodri, Rodri holds the ball up here, switches it out to Bernardo Silva, Man City trying to move the ball about, but Inter Milan are everywhere. Bernardo Silva now. 1-on-1 against the Cherby. Backwards to Akanji. Into the finds Rodri. All in the Milan half. Into Ake. Backwards to Diaz on the centre circle. Rodri. First time into Ake. He's got space now. Out to Grealish. 1-on-1 against Dumfries. Backwards to Ake. Diaz. They tried to move the ball about Manchester City, but Inter Milan, every single time they pass it to a Man City player, a Milan player is all over him as Bernardo Silva manages to short pass to Rodri. Makes his way back to Diaz on the centre circle, and Ilkay Gundogan comes very deep to pick up the ball. Plays it into Rodri. Rodri's got space to bring it forward. Dinks it into the pass of Ake. Ake holds the ball up here. Barella comes over to cover. Out to Grealish on the left-hand side. 1-on-1 against Dumfries. Can he go around the outside of Dumfries? And Dumfries brings him down, and it's a free kick for Manchester City on this left-hand side. Grealish asking the referee, why is it not more than a yellow? We'll have to wait and see. 43 minutes played. Manchester City nil, Inter Milan nil. Free kick for Manchester City. Kevin De Bruyne has been subbed off. Unfortunate again in another final. Phil Foden replaces him. He takes the free kick down the left-hand side. Ball point towards the back post. Rodri brings the ball under control on the right side. Tries to put the ball back into the box, but it comes off Rodri, and it goes out for a goal kick on the left-hand side of Man City. This is not the Manchester City we see in the Premier League, ladies and gentlemen. 44 minutes played. Manchester City nil, Inter Milan nil. Onana to restart the game. Onana high up top towards Edin Dzeko. Loses the header to Rodri. Ilkay Gundogan picks up the loose ball and feeds it down the line. Grealish with a header, but Acerbi's there to win it. Gundogan wins the second header. Haaland flicks it on, but it's only into Bastoni. And Bastoni goes back to Onana. Onana on the 6-yard box. Feeds the ball down the line into the pass at Edin Dzeko. Flicks it onto Martinez, but Diaz is there. And the offside flag goes up. Man City restart on the Shine side. Easy. The halftime message is going to be simple. Relax. Relax. This isn't a Manchester City team that we're expecting from the Premier League. We are the champions, my friends. And we'll keep on fighting to the end. Da-na-na-na. Makes his way all the way back to Edison. 2 minutes of the first half, ladies and gentlemen, left. I got an interesting half. How do you think we'll win? Who do you support, Aga? Where are you from and who do you support? Let me know who you support, because I don't know who you support. Are you a City fan? Are you a Milan fan? Here we go with Ake, bring the ball forward. Keep on fighting to the end. Da-na-na-na. I think Inter will edge it. Well, Kevin De Bruyne has come off, so that's a huge bonus to them. As Akanji takes a shot from distance, but it's overhit. And it goes out for a free kick on this, a goal kick on this left-hand side with a minute. I think Inter will edge it. We'll have to wait and see. We will have to wait and see. I just feel like this isn't a Manchester City we expect in. This isn't a Manchester City we've expected. Manchester City free kick here. Just in the last couple of seconds of the game, the referee blows for half time. It's Manchester City nil, Inter Milan nil. And ladies and gentlemen, everyone came into this game thinking Manchester City are going to run away with it. And I'll be honest with you, everyone pretty much give Inter Milan a 1% chance. But ladies and gentlemen, that percentage is growing. Because this is not the Manchester City we see in the Premier League. This is a completely different team. Misplaced passes, missed touches, getting themselves into trouble. A bit of bad decision making by Inter Milan, and we may have had a few goals in that half. I'm going to take a quick break. I'll see you for the second half. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? Second half here on Couch Sports Football. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Where are we all from and who do we support? Are we City fans? Are we Milan fans? Are we just fans of football? Let me know what you guys think of this game. I'll be honest with you, this is not the Manchester City I've seen in the Premier League. This isn't the Manchester City team that bulldozed Arsenal to win the Premier League. This isn't the Manchester City team that absolutely put Manchester United aside to win the FA Cup final. This is a different Man City team who won every single game of their group stage. Put Real Madrid aside. This isn't them. Inter Milan doing their bit to unnerve this City side, force them into making mistakes, complacency, misplaced passes, missed touches, hitting it out play for throwings. This isn't the City side that we're used to, but we'll have to wait and see how the second half is, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing? Manchester City lose Kevin De Bruyne in that first half. Phil Foden has come. Pep Guardiola has had his moment to talk with them. Tell them to calm down. Let's see what they do in the second half. Inter Milan just need to carry on doing what they're doing, and maybe just have a bit of better possession. A better decision making, should I say? Haaland wins the header from the goal kick. Cherby picks up the loose ball and just clears it down the line. Gundogan heads it on. Brozovic heads it away. Ake heads it on. Gundogan brings the ball under control. Brozovic hits it in the air, wins the header, and Chanaloglu finds Eddie Dzeko, does well to hold on to it, feed it down the line to Barella. But Akanji's there and he goes all the way back to the keeper. And Edison manages to find Diaz. Squares it into Brother Stones. Bringing the ball forward into the Milan half. And he now brings it to the centre circle. How are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? Here we go with City on the ball with Rodri. 46 minutes played. Into the path of Ake. Let's see what Man City team turn up in this second half. Will it be the team that we see in the Premier League, or will it be the team that has turned up at this game, especially after Kevin De Bruyne has been subbed off? Someone else will have to step up now. Rodri on the centre circle. Backwards to Diaz. Diaz bringing the ball forward. Out to that left-hand side towards Nathan Ake. Squares it into the path of Rodri. Returns it back to Ake. Jack Grealish needs to do better against Dumfries down that left-hand side. He's had a few moments to go at him. Dumfries has brought him down once, but besides that, no real... Inter Milan have not looked unnerved. That's the best way to describe it. As Bernardo Silva hits the ball up top and Bastoni's there to win the header. Bernardo Silva into the back of DeMarco. DeMarco goes down here. And the referee stops the play as DeMarco's down on the ground. Bernardo Silva not happy with that. The City players not happy with that. DeMarco doing what the Italians need to do in this game. This is the way Inter Milan are going to win this game. The dark arts rattle some of these City players. We saw Jack Grealish against Manchester United. When he got the penalty decision against him, he just looked a different player in that game. If you can, rattle a couple of these players for City, they lose that mindset that they can win every single game. Let me know how we do it. Let me know where you're from and who do we support. Are we City fans? Are we Milan fans? Here we go with Edison on the ball on this left-hand side to restart for City. When do we see Romelu Lukaku come on? Do we see Romelu Lukaku come on with the two that are on, or does Dzeko come off? That's normally the sub that's made. Edison feeds the ball down the line, but Acerbi wins it ahead of Haaland. They force to Brozovic on the centre circle, who spins away from Foden, and Darmian goes backwards to Acerbi. Bastoni back to Acerbi on the edge of his own box. Foden applying some pressure, returns it into Bastoni. Milan very comfortable moving it out from the back, feeds the ball down the line to Edin Dzeko. Akanji's then he heads it up for a throwing for Milan deep in the City half. That's what they want to do. They just want to feed it down the line and try and hope that they get a set piece in the City half. That's what they're doing, and that's what they are achieving. DiMarco back to Bastoni. Centre circle is Darmian. Grealish applying pressure backwards to Acerbi. Out to the left-hand side towards DiMarco on the halfway line. Brings the ball under control down the line towards Lautaro. Martinez. Akanji is there. Needs here for throwing. Nothing for City fans to chant about right now. It does seem like an Italian home game, I'll be honest with you. I said it the moment Milan made it into the final. To see Inter Milan in the final, the Italians, after a decade of not being in Champions League football, like not being of importance in Champions League football, should I say, the fact that they've managed to reach a final, they were going to pack this stadium, this city, they were going to do everything to make it a home game, and they definitely, truly have. Inter Milan have a throwing on that right side. Darmian goes backwards to Acerbi. Acerbi into Bastoni. Bastoni back to Onana. You think Edison's cool as ice? Oh, and it's a misplaced pass by Onana into the path of Bernardo Silva on this right side. Milan plays out of position. Bernardo Silva gets himself into the box, but it's intercepted. And Milan win the ball back, and it's DiMarco on the ball on the right side. Feeds the ball down the line to Edin Dzeko, but Akanji's there to win it back. Onana, cool as ice, but you need to be careful there. Rodri bringing it forward. Square into Ake on the left-hand side, and he's got space to bring it forward. Into Gundogan, and we know Ake is a goal threat. We know Ake is a goal threat. He can put it in the back of the net, whether it's a header or a shot. He's got it in him. Here we go with Diaz. Inter Milan finds Gundogan. First time into Rodri. Returns it back to Gundogan. Backwards to Diaz. Brozovic applying pressure. So is Darmian. Darmian nicks it off. Gundogan tries to bring the ball forward, but Gundogan wins it back. Martinez, Chanaloglu can't get there. And City win a free kick on the halfway line. 50 minutes play. Ilkay Gundogan has gone down now as Pep Guardiola tries to wake up the City fans. That's the one thing that Pep Guardiola hasn't seemed to have resolved, should I say, at Manchester City. He's not managed to get their fan base loud. You know, they've got numbers, but they're not loud. Here we go with Diaz bringing the ball forward. Ilkay Gundogan looks to be running, hobbling around, but we'll see how long he can manage to stay on. Bernardo Silva on the ball, 1-1 against DiMarco. Oh, get away from it. DiMarco now puts his head down and he tries to the ball. He's got Barella to his left and he finds him. Barella on the returns it back to DiMarco. Into the middle, finds Martinez. Martinez brought down by Gundogan, and the game carries on with Grealish into the path of Foden bringing the ball forward. He's got Grealish to his left hand. Chanaloglu does well as Darmian brings down Grealish, and Milan with a free kick here. Sorry, City with a free kick here on this left hand side. Martinez is down here. Gundogan barraging into him to win it back. Free kick, Man City on that left hand side. Phil Foden and Jack Grealish step over it. They have height in the box. You look at Haaland. Stones. Diaz. What can they do? Foden to take it. Left foot over. Wasted. Can't you keep it in play? He can't. He goes out for a throwing for Inter Milan down this right side. Manchester City 0, Inter Milan 0. How are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? Milan with the ball up top. Stones wins the ball back. Gets away from Dzeko. Gets away from Chanaloglu, but he's forced to go backwards to Diaz, and he tells Ake to move forward, and he passes it into Ake. Square into Rodri. Rodri through the lines to Stones, who finds it in between, and he brings the ball forward. He gets away from Bastoni, left foot on the edge of the box. It's Rafa Gundogan, gets away from the defenders. He gets away from Brozovic, gets away from Barella, out to Grealish on the left hand side, right foot into the box, but it's headed away. It's going to fall to Stones on the edge of the box. Can he keep it alive? Gets away from Martinez. He can't get away from Dzeko. Game carries on here. Martinez into the middle towards Brozovic, but a free kick's been given because of advantage other than therefore Inter Milan. And Inter Milan will restart on the right-hand side, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the stream. It's your boy Adam here. Manchester City nil, Inter Milan nil, as Inter Milan feed the ball down the line towards Lautaro Martinez. Can he get there ahead of Diaz? And he does. Now he holds on to it and he waits for the Milan team to come forward as Martinez interrupts with Çalhanoğlu. His shot is blocked on the edge of the box. Can DeMarco keep it in play? He does. And DeMarco has Bastoni to his left. And he gets Bernardo Silva away, puts the ball into the box, and he's headed away, but it's going to come out to Lautaro Martinez on this right side, and he lets it go out for a throwing. And that is where Barella gets the Milan fans to wake up. Make it a Milan home game. That's what he wants. Throw it taken out to that right side. Backwards to Brozovic, who's had a big game so far. A Cherby into Bastoni on the halfway line. Backwards to a Cherby. Onana, look how high Onana is. Like a deep line playmaker. As Dzeko's gone down off the ball here. Dumfries holds onto it here. Gets away from Gundogan. Dzeko's down off the ground and Lukaku looks to be coming on here. Has Dzeko played his last moments in this game? 55 minutes of the game, ladies and gentlemen. Romelu Lukaku is coming on here. Is it written for him in the stars, ladies and gentlemen? His parents his mom, should I say, didn't have enough money to feed the kids. Lukaku used to give his food to the family. His granddad said Lukaku would make it big. He's now playing in a Champions League final where he looks to be at home at Inter Milan. Is it written for him to score in the final? We'll have to wait and see, ladies and gentlemen. Onana on the right side. A lot more power, a lot more pace now with Lukaku up front and Lautaro Martinez alongside it. Let's see what Inter Milan can do. How are we doing, ladies and gentlemen, in the chat? Are you City fans? Are you Milan fans? Or are you just fans of football? As Lukaku wins his first header and it goes out to Dumfries, and City might be stretched here as the ball's pointing to the box, but Kanji's there to clear it. Çalhanoğlu wins the ball, but it falls into path of İlkay Gundogan, who's having to come very deep now to try and dictate the play. Grealish gets away from Darmian, and he's forced to go backwards to Diaz on this left-hand side. 57 minutes play. Akanji bringing the ball forward here. Threads it into path of Stones. Foden through the middle, but he goes out wide to Bernardo Silva. One-on-one against DiMarco. And he goes backwards to Akanji. Akanji into the middle to Diaz on the centre circle. Diaz out to Aki on that left-hand side. How are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? I see you there in the chat. Don't be afraid to say hello. As Grealish has the ball against Dumfries. Can't get away from Barella. He goes backwards to Ake. Ake into the middle. Finds Stones. Stones on the turn. Backwards to Ake. Out to Grealish on that left-hand side. Grealish holds the ball backwards to Nathan Ake. Into the path of Diaz. Diaz short to Akanji. Akanji out to Bernardo Silva on the right side. DiMarco applying pressure. City are being forced to go out wide where Milan are happy with it. But they just can't go through the middle. As Lautaro Martinez leaves it, wins the ball in the box here. As Akanji leaves it. But Edison is there and Bernardo Silva is there to pick up the pieces. And it's Stones on the ball. He spins away from Çalhanoğlu and he brings the ball forward here. Manages to find the pass into Foden. Foden's got space to bring it forward. Haaland's through the middle. He's intercepted, but Dumfries is there. As Foden wins a free kick, and it's going to be a yellow card here for Inter Milan. As Foden goes down, wins the free kick here. Nicolo Barella Look at that. He had to lunge in there. He knew he couldn't let that pass off. But you look at this pass back by Bernardo Silva, and Akanji leaves it. Martinez is there, and he gets him passing into the center circle. He should be passing it to Lukaku there. Pep Guardiola not happy with that. Free kick for Manchester City from a good distance away. Jack Grealish and Phil Foden step over it. So does Ilkay Gundogan. Grealish takes it short to Gundogan. Right foot into the box towards Diaz. But it goes out for a goal kick on the right side for Inter Milan. That was a bit easy from Inter Milan, in fairness. And Milan restart here. Inter Milan now with a ball with Darmian. Hits the ball down the line to Romelu Lukaku. Headed away by Diaz. Wins the ball. Chanaloglu, but Akanji's there, and he goes all the way back to the keeper. Lautaro Martinez will charge down Edison here on the 6-yard box. Hits it high up into the air. And it's cleared away by Bastoni. Stones picks up the loose ball in his own half. Brings the ball forward into the path of Gundogan on the centre circle. Out to Ake on the left-hand side. He drives into the Milan half. Tries to bring Man City high the pitch as Grealish as well to get away from Brozovic. Brings the ball central into Stones. But it's a heavy touch by Stones, and Bastoni comes away with it into Martinez. Brozovic now on the ball. Into Dumfries. Dumfries has Barella to his left, Lukaku to his right, and he goes on his own Dumfries. And he goes backwards to Darmian. A Cherby on the right side. Into DeMarco. Bastoni on the halfway line. Returns it back to him, but it's intercepted. And it falls to Bernardo Silva. He finds Haaland. Haaland takes another turn. He's got Grealish to his left if he can find him. But it's a misplaced pass. Haaland's game is it? His passing, and Inter Milan win it back. Inter Milan need to keep this and make these moments count. Now is the time Inter Milan need to pounce. As Brozovic has the ball on the centre circle. Goes backwards to a Cherby. Bastoni. Has DeMarco to his left, but he holds on to it. And he goes backwards to a Cherby. A Cherby switches it out to Dumfries, who brings the ball under control on the halfway line. But it goes backwards to Darmian, and Man City are forced to run for the ball here as a Cherby goes out wide to DeMarco. He brings the ball under control. Stones is there for cover. He feeds it down the line to Lautaro Martinez. DeMarco carries on with his run, but Kanji is there. And it comes off Bernardo Silva, and it goes out for a Milan throwing. Oh no, Bernardo Silva takes it. That was a Milan throwing. Stones. Into Diaz. To Ake. Ake in his own half. Into the middle, finds Foden. Backwards to Gundogan. Over the top towards Haaland. But Cherby does well to win the header as Chanaloglu clears it. Barella into Brozovic on the centre circle. Tries to return it to Barella, but Dumfries is there. And Milan bring the ball forward here with Barella. Into Rafa Brozovic. Brozovic into Lautaro. Backwards to DeMarco. Maybe a bit of composure by Martinez. He could have taken on the turn, but DeMarco keeps it alive here. Out to Brozovic on the left-hand side. 1-on-1 against Bernardo Silva. Into Rafa Barella. Barella holds the ball up here. Backwards to Brozovic on the left-hand side. Bastoni carries on with his run. Brozovic holds on to it on the corner of the box. Barella out to Bastoni on the left-hand side. Backwards to Barella. Barella right foot into the box towards Lautaro. Gundogan's there to win the header. Dumfries on the edge of the box wins it. Can DeMarco get the header? Diaz, no, he can't. And Ake is there to head it down and clear it out. If in doubt, just get it out. Haaland can't win it, and it falls to Chanaloglu, but his pass is intercepted to Gundogan. And Rodri has the ball now. And can Man City make this count on the centre circle? Out wide to Bernardo Silva. Stones carries on with his run. Gundogan, Haaland, Foden, and Grealish alongside him. Bernardo Silva out wide to Stones across the 6-yard box. And it comes off Bastoni, and it goes out for a corner down the right side. 63 minutes played. Man City 0, Inter Milan 0. Jack Grealish steps over to take the corner down this right side of the pitch. He's had a very quiet game so far, Jack Grealish. Yeah, he's won a few tackles, but they've been last ditch pretty much for Inter Milan. Not really anything else. Grealish to take the corner down the right side on the 64th minute. Gives the signal here, but the referee. Jack Grealish asking for some fluids here. Referee's having a word with Bastoni. Damian against Akanji. Akanji's winning that ball as Grealish puts the ball into the box, into the path of Bernardo Silva. The referee gives a free kick into Milan way, and Inter Milan with the restart on the shine side. Looks like Pep Guardiola having a word with his players there. What can he do to inspire this team? Acerbi in his own box here. Inter Milan trying to play out their own half. Long ball over the top, Lukaku. It's over him and it's going to fall to Nathan Ake on this left-hand side. And Ake holds the ball here. 65th minute, Manchester City 0, Inter Milan 0. Akanji goes all the way back to the keeper on this left-hand side. And it's Edison on the penalty spot. Edison. Again, Man City just holding the ball. Milan are happy with it. Let them have it in their own box. Stones brings the ball under control here in his own half. And he finds Bernardo Silva on the right side. Bernardo Silva returns it back to Stones. Man on his shout, but he's brought down by Brozovic. Free kick here. Man City 0, Inter Milan 0. Bernardo Silva into Rodri. Rodri on the halfway line, bringing it forward into the centre circle, into Nathan Ake, who's got space to bring it forward. Gundogan coming very deep to pick up the ball, and he wins it. And it goes backwards to Diaz. Diaz threads it in between the lines towards Haaland, but Acerbi is there, and Haaland wins it back, and he's 1-on-1 against Bastoni, but Bastoni does well to clear it away. And Romelu Lukaku will battle it against Diaz, and Gundogan picks up the loose ball here. Stones on the halfway line. Out to the right side towards Bernardo Silva. 1-on-1 against DeMarco. Central to Foden. Foden backwards to Akanji. Foden out to Ake on the left hand side. 66 minute play. 24 minutes to go. Who steps up here? Rodri on the centre circle. Into the path of Akanji. Akanji out wide to Bernardo Silva. 1-on-1 against DeMarco here down the shine side. Cuts in on his left foot. Brings it towards the edge of the box here. DeMarco's tracking him. He spins right, spins left. Goes backwards to Rodri. First time into the path of Ake. But again, it's another misplaced pass. Forces Grealish to run back to win the ball. And he feeds over the top towards Foden. Brozovic is there to win the header. Damian will try and get the header. Gundogan finds himself into the box. But he holds onto it here. Backwards to Foden. Foden on the edge. And he drives out. Look, and he goes all the way back to Akanji. Akanji driving the ball on the edge of the box. Threads in between lines to Bernardo Silva across the 6-yard box. But he's claimed for a penalty. Rodri is there. Rodri in the back of the net. And Manchester City have made it 1-0 here. And it's Rodri. Only Messi has played more games for Pep Guardiola in a season. And it's Rodri who comes up. None of the attackers have done anything in this game. We thought it would be a defensive player who makes the mark, and it's Rodri who makes it 1-0 for Manchester City. 68th minute, and now we have a game on our hands. Now we have a game in our hands. Anana on the trying side. Goes out to that right side towards Dumfries. Backwards to Damia. Anana on the trying side. Into a Cherby who takes it on the turn. And he loses it. But Brozovic is there. Free kick given into Milan. 69th minute. Bastoni to restart. Into a Cherby on the trying side. A Cherby holds the ball up. Over the top towards Lautaro Martinez, holds the ball up against Akanji, into the DeMarco. DeMarco left foot into the box. It's deflected away and it'll fall to Brozovic. Brozovic out to DeMarco. Is he going to get another opportunity to cross? He goes backwards to Brozovic. Brozovic right foot into the box. Flicked on by Chanaloglu. Dumfries win the header. It's Ratha Lukaku. DeMarco is there. Heads it on. Into the crossbar. DeMarco again. It comes off Lukaku. Gundogan is there. And it's going to fall to Bernardo Silva here on this left hand side. Dumfries wins it back with a free kicks given City's way. 70th minute here. As Akanji goes down holding onto his calf here. Wow. Inter Milan nearly equalised there. DeMarco of all players. He's the last player they wanted to fall to when you have Romelu Lukaku and Lautaro Martinez on the pitch. But ladies and gentlemen, what a final 18 minutes we have left here. Manchester City 1, Inter Milan 0. How are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the stream. Where are we from and who do we support? Are we Inter Milan fans? Are we Man City fans? Or are we just fans of football? Wow, what a game we have on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. Can Inter Milan pull one back here? Is this the time for Kyle Walker to come on and use his pace? Yes, it is. Kyle Walker's coming on. The perfect time for Kyle Walker to come on. He's the last man now. Edison to restart on this left-hand side as Akanji comes off. Edison now. High up into the air. Haaland wins the header, but it's into the path of Brozovic. And he holds onto the ball. Gets away from Foden. Into the path of DeMarco. Backwards to Bastoni. Can Inter Milan create a chance here? They've already tried with moments. No clear-cut chances. Onana into Brozovic on the right-hand side. Backwards to Onana on the penalty spot. Bringing the ball on the edge of the box here. In between the lines towards Bastoni, and he falls to Lautaro Martinez, Romelu Lukaku, one-on-one against Diaz, gets himself to the box, right foot shot straight at the keeper Edison. And Man City will restart on this left-hand side. Just scuffed his shot there, Romelu Lukaku. Man City now on this left-hand side with Edison, 73rd minute played. Into the path of Akanji bringing the ball forward here. DeMarco applying the pressure down the line towards Haaland. But Acerbi is there. And Acerbi down the line towards Barella. Chanaloglu into DeMarco on the centre circle. Gets away into the path of Bastoni. Being charged down by Rodri. Bastoni tries with it and he's brought down there. Nothing given. Rodri bringing the ball forward now for Manchester City. Squares it into the path of Stones. Stones into Gundogan. Intercepted there by DeMarco. Can Acerbi get the header? Haaland? No, he can't. It'll fall to Dumfries. Acerbi now on the ball. Backwards to Onana on the edge of his own box. Inter Milan finds Brozovic. Bringing the ball forward. 16 minutes until history is made for Manchester City. Bastoni bringing it forward. Left over the top towards Romelu Lukaku. First time into Lautaro Martinez. But it's over here and it's straight to the hands of Ederson on this left-hand side. Akin on the ball here on this left-hand side. Ruben Diaz returns it back to Ake. Rodri back towards goal, but he goes into Silva. Silva flicks onto Stones. Stones brings the ball under control and returns it back to Silva. And Man City now find themselves with space every time they have the ball as Inter Milan are going chasing. Bernardo Silva holds onto it here. Gets away from DeMarco. He does well to shrug him off. But City win the free kick on the right side. Looks like Bastoni is going to be coming on here for Gosens. Bastoni is coming off. Robin Gosens. And Dumfries is coming off. Dumfries is coming off for... Who's that guy that's coming? Gundogan to take the free kick down the right side. 75th minute played. 15 minutes away from eternal glory, ladies and gentlemen. Gundogan to take the free kick in towards Stones, headed away by Damian. It forces Grealish one-on-one against the defender. Goes backwards to Bernardo Silva. Into Gundogan. Into the path of Ake on the left-hand side. Bellanova is the man who's come up for Dumfries on that right-hand side against Grealish. Rodri. Backwards to Akanji on the centre circle. Wide to Bernardo Silva. One-on-one against DeMarco. Ake now bringing the ball forward on the left-hand side into brother Grealish. Inter Milan win the ball, but it falls to a Man City player, Rodri, into Foden, spins away from DeMarco, beautifully, drives with the ball, into the keeper. Wow, what a huge opportunity that was for Phil Foden. Beautiful pirouette on the spot there. Should have finished it. Brozovic now on the ball. Into DeMarco. Gosens on this left-hand side. Back to DeMarco. Acerbi. Out wide to Bellanova. Damian. Into Acerbi. Inter Milan now need to recover here. Gosens. Down the line towards Lautaro, who does well to shrug off Akanji, but he can't get the return pass, and it's going to fall to Phil Foden on the centre circle, and he's got 4 players to aim for, and he comes out wide to Bernardo Silva, one-on-one against DeMarco. Bernardo Silva, using his knowledge of the game, just slowing it down, and he goes back to Akanji because possession is more important than anything. Stones back to Akanji on the centre circle. Floats it up top to Nathan Ake. Ake down the line to Grealish. Forced backwards by Bellanova. To Ake. Ake forced backwards to Diaz. Romelu Lukaku applying pressure. Diaz hits the ball over the top towards Grealish. Head up in the air by Damian, who wins the ball, and it falls to Chanaloglu on the centre circle. He holds the ball up, lays it into pass to DeMarco. DeMarco puts his head down and he drives with it into the City half. He's got 4 players to aim for. Over the top towards Lukaku. Lukaku flicks onto Bellanova. One-on-one against Grealish on that right side. He's got few players to aim for. He cuts in on his right foot. Ball points to the box and it comes off Grealish. And it goes out for a corner on this right side for Inter Milan. Has Phil Foden not put that goal away? Corner for Manchester City. Sorry. How has Phil Foden not put that ball in the back of the net? 79th minute. Inter Milan have a corner here. Chanaloglu into the box, headed away by Haaland. He might not score on the other end today, but he's doing his defensive work. Brozovic out wide to Barella. Barella into Chanaloglu. Right foot into the box, but it's cleared away by the first man. Another opportunity into the box, but it's overhit. And it goes out for a goal kick on this left-hand side, 79th minute. Manchester City 1, Inter Milan 0. Kevin De Bruyne there celebrating the Rodri strike. Chanaloglu can't get there ahead of Rodri, and it falls to Stones, who switches it out to the left-hand side towards Grealish. Headed away by Bellanova. Grealish brings the ball under control, gets away from Darmian into the pass of Foden. Foden into Haaland, intercepted. Inter Milan throwing their bodies on the line as Foden wins the ball by Bernardo Silva on the right side. 1-on-1 against Barella. And he's brought down by Brozovic, and that's going to be a yellow card for Brozovic. Bernardo Silva to take the free kick on the 80th minute here. Manchester City 1, Inter Milan 0. Bernardo Silva with a left foot into the box, but it's straight into the hands of Onana as Stones has gone down off the ball here. Onana. Oh, he's got a ripped shirt there. What's gone on there? Stones has gone down here. It's against Gosens. Oh, he just slips. I think he just slips there. Harry Pitts. Kyle Walker's going to be coming on here for Stones. Go to a back four. "82 minutes played with the ball over the top towards Lautaro Martinez as Walker will leave it to Edison. Edison on this left-hand side. Plays for a penalty with 8 minutes to go, but nothing. Edison on this left-hand side. High up into the air. Darmian can't get there, and he goes after a City throwing. 82 minutes played. 7.5 minutes until history is made, ladies and gentlemen. Romelu Lukaku gets a yellow card for his troubles. A foul on Nathan Ake there. 83rd minute played. Corner here for Manchester City in the 84th minute. Can they seal the deal in this game? Grealish should have ball into the box, but straight into the hands of Onana. And Inter Milan will restart on the try side. Inter Milan down the line into Brozovic, who feeds it on. Cleared away by Diaz into Gundogan. Barella is all over him. And it goes out for a Inter Milan throw-in on the right side. Barella to take it. No foul. It's the right decision. Calm down, Gundogan. Bellanova. Back us to Onana. Onana. In the middle towards Lukaku. Lukaku first time into Mkhitaryan. Mkhitaryan bringing the ball for that to Gosens on the center side into the box. Overhit by Robin Gosens. And it goes out for a throwing on that right hand side. 85th minute here. Chanaloglu has come off here. Ake to take the throwing on that left hand side. 86th minute here. Romelu Lukaku. Sorry, Ake with the header. Acerbi can't get there. He falls to Gundogan. Ake clears it down the line. DeMarco will try and get their header forward. It goes out for an Inter Milan throw-in. Taken quickly backwards to Onana on the right side. Onana, 86th minute with 4 minutes of the 90 plus added time. Gosens, huge opportunity wasted by Robin. Gosens, he'll hope that he gets another opportunity. Onana, playing like a deep line playmaker. Diaz wins the header into Gundogan, who has space to bring the ball down. Bringing it forward now. Where are the City players? He needs to find the pass. Down the line to Grealish. Is he onside? Yes, he is. 1-on-1 against Brozovic. Tries to go around the outside this time. And Brozovic wins it off him. It goes out for an Inter Milan throwing. Taken quickly to Mkhitaryan. Mkhitaryan takes it in his stride. 1-on-1 against Gundogan. Goes around the outside. Tries to feed it down the line to Lukaku, but it's intercepted. And Inter Milan will come away with it here with Mkhitaryan. And they win a free kick here. Mkhitaryan goes short to Acerbi on the centre circle. Romelu Lukaku puts his hand up. Will Acerbi go towards him? No, he won't. He goes short to DeMarco. Into Brozovic. Bellanova. Into DeMarco. Holds on to the ball on the halfway line. Tries to feed it down the line towards Acerbi, but it's intercepted. And Gundogan finds the pass into Foden, but it's intercepted there by Inter Milan. Can they make this counter here? Count with Mkhitaryan. Out to the left hand side is Robin Gosens. Mkhitaryan on the ball. Barella trying to conduct it. Mkhitaryan into Gosens on the left hand side. Back to Barella. Barella, if it's going to happen for Inter Milan, it's going to come from Barella. Into Gosens on the left hand side. 1-on-1 against Bernardo Silva. Backwards to Barella. Inter Milan finds Mkhitaryan. Backwards to Barella again. Into Mkhitaryan. In and around the box. Out to the left hand side is Gosens. Left foot into the box. It's over. Everyone. It's going to come out to Bellanova on this right side. 1-on-1 against Ake. What's he going to do? He goes backwards to Brozovic. First time into the box. Back post is Gosens. Head down to Lukaku. Saved by the keeper. Oh, and it's gone out for a corner. Saved by Edison! Was that the moment for Inter Milan with 2 minutes to go? 88th minute and Edison comes up with a huge save, and I don't even think they realise what they've done. DeMarco to take the corner, headed on near post by Martinez, and he'll go out for a goal kick on this left hand side for Manchester City. Ball point to the box and Gosens keeps it alive. Lukaku heads it down into Edison. And anywhere he's gone in the back of the net, but he heads it straight at Edison and he claws at it and it goes out for a corner. Wow. Is that the moment? Was that the moment for Inter Milan? They'll pray that they get another. They will pray they get another. Edison with a ball high up into the air towards Grealish, but it goes out for an Inter Milan throwing. Bellanova into a Cherby. Down the line to DeMarco. DeMarco on the trying side to Gosens. Over the top towards Martinez. Flicks onto Lukaku. 1-on-1 against Diaz. He's got Mkhitaryan alongside him. Lukaku. Left foot. Takes a shot and he drags it wide. He needs to find a play. He's going for glory. Romelu Lukaku is going for glory. He needs to find a man. Woo! 5 minutes of added time here, ladies and gentlemen. A Cherby to take the throwing backwards to Onana. Onana into a Cherby. First time over the top towards Martinez. Can Barella get there? No, he can't. Ake into Gundogan. Back to Ake. Feeds the ball down the line towards Jack Grealish. Foden is there. Inter Milan win the header, but give the free kick away. Ambrosia Custard. Free kick, Man City. Grealish on the ball. Intercepted, but Haaland's there to win it back, and Gundogan finds Rodri into Foden. Foden against Darmian and Bellanova, but it goes out for a throwing on the right side for Inter Milan, taken quickly into Onana. Gets away from Haaland. He's brought down. Free kick. Inter Milan on the right side. Five minutes of added time. 1.5 played, ladies and gentlemen. Are Inter Milan going to get another opportunity like Romelu Lukaku did? Onana high up into the air towards Lukaku. He wins. Loses the header to Diaz. Brozovic keeps it alive. Barella will try and charge it down. Ake will usher it out for a throwing for Manchester City with 3 minutes left to play. Three minutes left, ladies and gentlemen, here. Ake to take the throwing. He loses it. Brozovic in the air. Free kick given Inter Milan's way. Now Inter Milan have a huge free kick on this right hand side with 2.5 minutes of the added time to play. They've hit the crossbar. They've gone straight at the keeper. Can they find the back of the net and take this? Give themselves a moment and take it to extra time. DeMarco to take the free kick. Left foot into the box. It's headed away by Rodri. Barella keeps it alive. But it goes out for a goal kick on this left-hand side with 2 minutes left to go. Edison gets a yellow card for wasting time now. Two minutes left before history is made. Edison slips as he kicks the ball out. Mkhitaryan flicks it onto Martinez. Acerbi is playing up front now. Haaland brings the ball under control, but Inter Milan win it back with Bernardo Silva. Can DeMarco get there ahead of him? Yes, he does. Brings him down. Free kick. Inter Milan on the trying side. 1.5 to go, ladies and gentlemen. Onana to take the free kick on the trying side. 1.5 to go, ladies and gentlemen. Onana high up top towards Romelu Lukaku. Edison comes out to gather it and runs down the clock, ladies and gentlemen. High up top. And Mkhitaryan will hold on to it, head it back to Onana. Onana, last chance here for Inter Milan. Onana into Mkhitaryan on the right side. Istanbul is known to create history, ladies and gentlemen. Brozovic into Onana in the penalty box. Bringing the ball forward here. Haaland will charge him down. Onana flicks it over the top towards Lukaku. Diaz wins the header. Grealish will try and keep it in play. Goes out for a throwing. 20 seconds left to go. This is the moment. Istanbul is known to make historic nights in Champions League football. Will it be for Inter Milan or will it be for Manchester City? As Mkhitaryan picks up the loose ball here against Kyle Walker. Goes backwards to Brozovic. Right foot. Dinks it out wide to Barella. Barella into Bellanova. 1-on-1 against Grealish. Right foot into the box. And it goes out for a corner for Inter Milan, ladies and gentlemen. This is the moment. This is the moment. This is the moment. Istanbul is known to make historic nights in the Champions League. Will it be for Inter Milan or will it be for Manchester City? We've had the 5 minutes of added time in the second half. This is the moment for Inter Milan as the ball's pointed to the box. Ederson with a huge save. Brozovic will try and keep it alive, but it goes out and the referee blows the whistle and Manchester City have won the Champions League. And not only that, they've gone and won the treble, ladies and gentlemen. The last time Manchester City won a trophy in Europe was back in 1970. The blue side of Manchester have emulated the 1999 winning team of the red side of Manchester, and they've won the treble this year. Ederson with a huge save in the dying minutes of the game to deny Romelu Lukaku. You look at the tears on the pitch by these Manchester City players. They have absolutely steamrolled the league and European football, ladies and gentlemen. The blue moon just doesn't rise over Manchester now. Pep Guardiola has got it rising above Europe. He's got that illustrious Champions League. It's the treble for Manchester City. What is next for this Manchester City side? Can they win it again? They've broken the taboo. What happens next year, ladies and gentlemen? Can Pep Guardiola get this team going again? History books will now write this 11 to 15 players for Manchester City with Pep Guardiola as the manager. And they have gone down in football folklore, ladies and gentlemen. It's not just the red side of Manchester who have a treble. It's now the blue side.